Strait of Hormuz, narrowest point. 2:52 p.m., broad daylight, perfect visibility. USS Mason, guided missile destroyer, escorting American oil tanker through Iranian-controlled waters, standard freedom of navigation operation. Then Iranian radar locked on, 6 anti-ship missile batteries activated along the coast, 12 fast attack boats launched from Bandar Abbas, 3 missile corvettes moving to intercept, all clearly visible in afternoon sun. Tehran's message was clear: this tanker doesn't pass, this destroyer doesn't survive. Iran believed they had the perfect kill box, one American destroyer in the narrowest choke point on Earth, surrounded by missile batteries, ambush boats closing in, no escape route. Their plan: overwhelm the destroyer with simultaneous attacks, sink it in Iranian waters, capture survivors, seize the oil tanker, humiliate America. But Iran made 4 catastrophic miscalculations. First, USS Mason wasn't alone. 3 submarines were shadowing below. Second, USS Dwight D. Eisenhower Carrier Strike Group was 60 miles away with 48 FA-18 Super Hornets ready to launch. Third, every Iranian missile battery was already targeted by B-1B bombers orbiting at 40,000 feet. Fourth, the tanker Iran wanted to seize, it was carrying 12 Marine Force recon operators hidden below deck. When Iran launched their attack, they thought they were sinking one destroyer. Instead, they triggered the largest U.S. naval response in the Persian Gulf since 1988. What happened in the next 47 minutes became the most devastating American counterstrike against Iranian forces in modern history. This is that story. The Strait of Hormuz, 21 miles wide at its narrowest point, the world's most strategic choke point. 20% of global oil passes through here every day, 30 million barrels. Iran controls the northern coast, has claimed authority over these waters for decades, regularly threatens to close the strait, stop all oil shipments, strangle global economy. For years, those were empty threats, until 3 weeks ago. Iran deployed 6 advanced anti-ship missile batteries along the coast, Chinese C-802 missiles, range 120 kilometers, capable of sinking destroyers. Plus, increased naval patrols, fast attack boats, missile corvettes, making aggressive maneuvers against American vessels. The U.S. response: continue freedom of navigation operations, escort American tankers through the strait, ignore Iranian threats. Show Tehran the strait remains open. International waters remain international. At 10 a.m., USS Mason, Arleigh Burke-class guided missile destroyer, received orders: escort oil tanker Pacific Endeavour through the Strait of Hormuz, ensure safe passage, defend against any Iranian aggression. Captain Sarah Mitchell, Mason's commanding officer, knew this mission was high risk. All hands, this is the captain. We are entering the strait at 11 a.m. Iranian activity is elevated. Daylight transit means perfect visibility. They'll see everything we do. Expect harassment, possibly worse. All weapon systems to full readiness. This is a combat zone. Stay sharp. What Captain Mitchell didn't tell her crew: intelligence suggested Iran was planning something, exact nature unknown, but chatter indicated possible attack on American vessels. At 11:30 a.m., Mason entered the strait. Pacific Endeavour, the massive oil tanker, following 1 kilometer behind, both ships clearly visible in bright midday sun. At 12:15 p.m., Iranian coastal radar began active scanning, painting Mason with targeting radar, tracking movements, calculating firing solutions, all clearly visible to Iranian observers on shore. warning sign. At 1:47 p.m., 12 Iranian fast attack boats launched from Bandar Abbas, Revolutionary Guard naval forces, armed with anti-ship missiles, moving at high speed in full view of satellite surveillance, heading toward the Strait. Red flag. At 2:20 p.m., 3 Iranian missile corvettes, larger warships with advanced weapons, departed port, heading to intercept position, visible to American reconnaissance aircraft overhead. Battle stations. At 2:35 p.m., Captain Mitchell received flash traffic from U.S. Central Command. Mason, be advised, intelligence indicates imminent Iranian attack. 6 missile batteries activated, 12 boats inbound, 3 corvettes moving to intercept. You are authorized defensive engagement. Carrier strike group scrambling now. Hold your position, defend the tanker. Captain Mitchell immediately ordered, General Quarters, all hands to battle stations. This is not a drill. Iranian forces inbound. We can see them approaching on radar and visual. We are authorized to engage. Weapons free on my command. USS Mason was one of the most advanced destroyers in the U.S. Navy. Aegis Combat System, SM-2 surface-to-air missiles, Tomahawk cruise missiles, 127mm deck gun, Phalanx close-in weapon systems. But 6 missile batteries firing simultaneously? 12 attack boats? 3 corvettes? Even the most advanced destroyer could be overwhelmed. At 2:52 p.m., Iranian coastal batteries launched. 8 C-802 anti-ship missiles, supersonic, sea-skimming, vapor trails clearly visible in afternoon sky, heading directly for USS Mason. Simultaneously, the 12 fast attack boats opened fire. 24 smaller anti-ship missiles launched, launch plumes visible for miles, and the 3 corvettes fired their weapons. 6 more heavy missiles. 38 missiles inbound, all targeting 1 American destroyer, all visible on radar and to the naked eye. The largest anti-ship missile barrage launched at a U.S. vessel since World War II. Captain Mitchell, engage. All defensive systems engage. Launch countermeasures. Return fire authorized. USS Mason's Aegis system activated instantly, tracking all 38 inbound missiles, calculating intercept solutions, launching SM-2 interceptor missiles. Boom, boom, boom. SM-2 missiles streaking into the sky, white contrails against blue sky, radar guided, seeking targets. First Iranian missile destroyed, explosion clearly visible. Second, third, fourth, but more coming. Too many, too fast. The Phalanx CIS systems activated, 20mm Gatling guns, 4,500 rounds per minute. Last line of defense. Brrrt, brrrt. Missiles exploding at close range, brilliant flashes in daylight, shrapnel raining down. At 2:54 p.m., 1 Iranian missile broke through, struck Mason's forward section, above waterline. Explosion, fire, black smoke billowing into clear sky, casualties. Second missile hit aft, more damage, more casualties. USS Mason was hurt, burning, but still fighting, damage clearly visible from Iranian shore. Captain Mitchell, damage report. Return fire on those missile batteries. Tomahawks launch now. 8 Tomahawk cruise missiles launched from Mason's vertical launch cells. Launch flames bright even in daylight. Each one programmed to strike Iranian coastal missile batteries. At 2:59 p.m., the 12 Iranian attack boats closed to 5 kilometers, machine guns firing, more missiles launching, all movements clearly tracked in perfect visibility. USS Mason's 127mm deck gun rotated. Boom, boom, boom. First Iranian boat disintegrated, explosion and debris clearly visible. Second exploded, third on fire. But 9 boats remaining, still attacking, the 3 corvettes closing in.
At 2:58 p.m., Captain Mitchell radioed U.S. Central Command. Mason is hit. 2 missiles struck. Fighting fires. Smoke visible from miles. Engaged with multiple Iranian vessels and land-based missiles. We need support now. The response came immediately. Air support inbound. 60 seconds. Hold on, Mason. The cavalry is coming.
2:59 p.m. 8 FA-18 Super Hornets screamed over the Strait of Hormuz at 600 knots, flying in clear blue sky, clearly visible to everyone below. Pilots saw the battle immediately. USS Mason burning but fighting. Smoke plume visible from 30 miles away. Iranian boats swarming, missiles flying everywhere. All Rhino flights weapons-free. Priority targets, those corvettes and attack boats. Keep them off Mason. 16 AGM-84 Harpoon anti-ship missiles released. Fire and forget. Active radar homing. Missile trails clearly visible in afternoon sun. The 3 Iranian corvettes detected missile launch, tried defensive maneuvers, too late. Boom, boom, boom. All 3 corvettes struck simultaneously. Massive explosions, brilliant fireballs in daylight, ships breaking apart, sinking within minutes. Then the Super Hornets turned on the fast attack boats. 20mm cannon fire, precision strafing runs, tracers visible even in bright sunlight. Iranian boats exploding, burning, sinking. Smoke and flames clearly visible from Iranian coast. 9 boats became 6, 6 became 3, 3 became 0. At 3:02 p.m., the 8 Tomahawks Mason had launched reached Iranian coastal missile batteries. GPS-guided, 1,000-pound warheads, surgical strikes. Boom, boom, boom. 6 Iranian missile batteries destroyed in synchronized explosions, massive detonations visible from satellite. Command centers obliterated, radar systems annihilated. But the U.S. wasn't done. At 3:04 p.m., 2 B-1B Lancer bombers, orbiting at 40,000 feet since the battle began, received targeting data. 48 JDAMs loaded, Joint Direct Attack Munitions, GPS-guided bombs. Target list: every Iranian naval facility within 100 kilometers. Command centers, ammunition depots, barracks, radar installations, communications towers. Bone 1 and 2, you are cleared hot. Strike all designated targets. The B-1Bs opened their bomb bays. 24 JDAMs dropped from each bomber, 48 total. Falling through clear afternoon sky, GPS guided to within 3 meters of target coordinates. At 3:06 p.m., every major Iranian Revolutionary Guard naval facility between Bandar Abbas and Jask erupted in flames. Command centers destroyed, ammunition depots exploding in chain reactions, massive explosions clearly visible in daylight. Barracks collapsed, communications towers toppled. The Iranian Revolutionary Guard Navy's entire operational capability in the Strait eliminated in 4 minutes. But the most devastating response was still coming. At 3:08 p.m., 3 American submarines surfaced. USS Toledo, USS Helena, USS Alexandria, Virginia-class attack submarines. They'd been shadowing Iranian vessels for weeks, silent, invisible, waiting. Now authorized full engagement, dramatically breaching in afternoon sun, clearly visible from passing ships. 12 Tomahawk missiles launched from submarine vertical launch tubes, launch plumes bright against blue water. Target: Iranian Naval Headquarters in Bandar Abbas. At 3:12 p.m., Revolutionary Guard Navy Headquarters building, the command center coordinating the entire attack, disappeared in a series of massive explosions, smoke cloud visible from 60 kilometers away. Admiral who ordered the ambush, dead. His entire staff, dead. The building, rubble.
At 3:15 p.m., 16 more FA-18s arrived from USS Eisenhower, plus 4 EA-18G Growlers, electronic warfare aircraft, all visible in clear sky. The Growlers jammed every Iranian military radar within 200 kilometers, making Iranian air defenses blind, helpless. The FA-18s began systematic destruction of remaining Iranian naval assets. Patrol boats in port destroyed with precision-guided bombs. Explosions clearly documented by satellite. Storage facilities obliterated. Maintenance yards flattened. Fuel depots, massive fireballs visible for 50 kilometers in clear daylight. By 3:25 p.m., the Iranian Revolutionary Guard Navy in the Strait of Hormuz region had been functionally destroyed. 12 attack boats sunk, 3 corvettes destroyed, 6 missile batteries eliminated, naval headquarters obliterated, every facility burned, all destruction clearly visible and documented. But the Americans still weren't finished. At 3:28 p.m., the Pacific Endeavour, which had been hanging back during the battle, suddenly came to life. 12 U.S. Marines emerged from hidden compartments below deck, in broad daylight, fully visible to any observers. Force recon operators, full combat gear. They'd been covertly embedded on the tanker, just in case Iran tried to seize it. 2 rigid-hull inhullable boats launched from Pacific Endeavour, the 12 Marines speeding toward Iranian coast, boats clearly visible in afternoon sun. Their target, Iranian Revolutionary Guard Coastal Observation Post, the facility that had coordinated the missile attack. At 3:35 p.m., the Marines hit the beach, assault in full daylight, breaching charges on doors, flashbangs, precision room clearing. 8 Iranian personnel captured, all intelligence files seized, computer systems destroyed. At 3:39 p.m., Marines back in boats, extraction complete, intelligence captured, all visible to Iranian coastal observers, too late to respond. At 3:39 p.m., the final hammer fell. USS Mason, damaged but functional, fired her remaining Tomahawks, 8 missiles, launch clearly visible in afternoon light. Target, the Iranian Military Command Complex in Bandar Abbas. At 3:42 p.m., that complex ceased to exist. Massive explosion visible across the city. By 3:45 p.m., the Battle of Hormuz was over. All combat operations conducted in clear daylight, documented by multiple sources. USS Mason damaged but alive, fighting. Pacific Endeavour undamaged, 12 Marines extracted with captured intelligence. Iranian losses, 12 attack boats sunk, 3 corvettes destroyed, 6 missile batteries eliminated, naval headquarters obliterated, 57 facilities destroyed, 320 Iranian casualties. All destruction clearly visible, all documented, all undeniable. Total American victory.
Within hours, Iran tried damage control. State media. Iranian forces successfully defended territorial waters against American aggression. Enemy destroyer heavily damaged and forced to retreat. Iranian forces victorious. Complete fabrication. But satellite imagery told the truth. Crystal clear daylight photography. American reconnaissance satellites photographed everything. 12 Iranian boats on the ocean floor, 3 corvettes sunk, 6 missile battery sites, smoking craters, naval headquarters, pile of rubble, 57 facilities destroyed, all visible in high-resolution daylight imagery. The Pentagon released selected images, not classified combat footage, just aftermath, taken in perfect afternoon lighting. Iranian corvettes capsized, burning buildings, destroyed radar installations. Message to Tehran: this is what happens when you attack American vessels. Global reaction was immediate. Iran's attack on U.S. destroyer ends in catastrophic defeat. Revolutionary Guard Navy decimated in 47 minutes. Tehran's humiliation, Attempted ambush becomes American counterstrike. USS Mason, towed to Bahrain for repairs. All crew survived, returned to service 6 weeks later. Captain Sarah Mitchell, awarded Navy Cross for defending her ship against overwhelming attack. The 12 Marines who raided Iranian observation post each received Bronze Stars for capturing critical intelligence under combat conditions, all conducted in broad daylight. The intelligence they seized revealed Iran had been planning this ambush for 3 weeks, convinced they could sink a destroyer, capture the tanker, force America to negotiate. Instead, they lost 320 personnel, 15 major vessels, 6 missile batteries, naval headquarters, entire regional command structure, all destroyed in one afternoon. Strategic implications were massive. For years, Iran threatened to close the Strait of Hormuz, control global oil supply, leverage it for political concessions. Operation Iron Passage proved that was fantasy. Iran attacked one American destroyer with everything they had in the region: 38 missiles, 12 attack boats, 3 corvettes, 6 coastal batteries, all in broad daylight, all documented, all defeated. Result: destroyer damaged but survived. Entire Iranian naval force in the Strait obliterated in 47 minutes. The carrier strike group never even got close. FA-18s from Eisenhower handled everything. If America needed to force the Strait open permanently, Iranian Navy couldn't stop it. UAE watched carefully, increased cooperation with U.S. Fifth Fleet. Bahrain expanded naval base access. Saudi Arabia requested integrated air defense training. But most importantly, global oil markets never flinched. Despite the battle, oil prices barely moved. Why? Because markets knew America would keep the Strait open. Iranian threats were empty. Tehran learned the hardest lesson. Attacking American warships doesn't close the Strait. It gets your Navy destroyed, and the whole world watches it happen in daylight.
2:52 p.m. Strait of Hormuz. Broad daylight. Perfect visibility. Iran launches largest anti-ship missile attack in decades against USS Mason. 38 missiles, 12 attack boats, 3 corvettes, 6 missile batteries, coordinated ambush, all clearly visible in afternoon sun. Iran believed they could sink the destroyer, seize the tanker, close the strait, force American retreat. 3:39 p.m., 47 minutes later, 15 Iranian vessels destroyed, 6 missile batteries eliminated, naval headquarters obliterated, 57 facilities burned, 320 casualties. All destruction clearly visible, all documented, all in daylight. USS Mason damaged but fighting. Pacific Endeavour completed passage. 12 Marines extracted with captured intelligence. Iran tried to close the strait. Instead, they opened themselves to total destruction, and the world watched it happen. This is what happens when you attack American warships. This is Operation Iron Passage. 47 minutes, 1 afternoon. Catastrophic Iranian defeat. Total American victory. The Strait of Hormuz remains open. The U.S. Navy remains dominant. Iran remains defeated. Never attack American destroyers, because behind every ship, the entire Fifth Fleet is watching, and they respond in daylight.